Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. And let me apologize before we do anything because my house is rattling, my windows are rattling. It sounds like there's an earthquake outside because they are redoing our road out here. They tore up all our water lines. Hear that? So if you hear that periodically, I am sorry. But today we're going to make some easy bread. This bread, I think anybody can make. It's probably the easiest in the world. Simple. We're going to get busy with it. There's only 4 ingredients: flour, salt, yeast, and water. Simple. So let's get busy with this. First off, I want to get one of my little whisk. We're going to only use 1 teaspoon, not even a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. Usually bread recipes call for like 2 1/4 teaspoons, sometimes a tablespoon. But in this case, we're only going to use 1/4 teaspoon because when you do this bread, this is a no-knead bread. So the longer the bread or the less yeast you use, the longer rise time you get, the more flavor you get from the bread. So that's why we're doing it that way, okay? And then I got nice warm water. Now you don't want screaming hot water because that'll kill your yeast. You don't want cold water because it'll take all day, all night, and all tomorrow to raise. So you just want to be able to put your finger in there, and if it just feels like your finger, it's warm and it's good. That's all you need right there. That's it, okay? And we're just going to give that a whisk, okay? Now with that, we're going to put a teaspoon of salt in because that's part of the flavor. It's almost like when this sits for very long, it's going to ferment. It'll be wonderful. But we're only going to let this one rise for about 3 hours or so. Maybe 4 tops. Get that mixed up really good. Now we're going to do, listen to that. That's enough to make you crazy. We are going to do 3 cups of flour in here, okay? Loose packed flour. It depends on the day or the weather outside. You know, you might need a little bit more or a little bit less, but we're starting with 3. You are definitely going to wind up with a sticky dough, and that's okay. That's really what you want. So we're just going to start mixing this up. And you could mix this in your stand mixer, but it just mixes up so easy. And you don't have to knead it. You're just going to let it rise right in this bowl. So we're just going to give this a mix right in here. Scrape the sides and give it a really good mix. It's a good thing I'm not making souffle. It'd never work. My house is rattling like an earthquake. See how that's coming together? And it's kind of shaggy looking. That's all right. Just give it a mix, flip it up, get all that loose flour. You turn it over. You don't have to knead this, like I said. This is not going to be kneaded. That's it. We're just going to mix that little bit in there. Everything else is dissolved in it. Okay? That's it. All there is to it. Now, what we're going to do is cover this with a damp, tea towel or cellophane. I just use a handy dandy shower cap. Works perfect. I'm just going to set this on the side of my kitchen. I'm going to let this rise for 3 hours. And at that point, I'll bring you back and we'll get ready to bake this bread. Okay, friends, the bread is ready to, not quite bake yet, but we'll get there. We've got to preheat our oven. Let me set this down there. We're going to put our Dutch oven in here with the lid on. And we're going to preheat this to 475. Okay. That's going to take about 35, 40 minutes for that Dutch oven to get screaming hot. And we want it screaming hot. So the oven is set at 475. That'll give us time to work with this. This has risen up well. You can see all the little bubbles in there. I think I let it rise for just about 5 hours. Now it's sticky. It's a very sticky dough now. So what we're going to do before anything is I'm going to put a little flour on this table and sprinkle a little on top of that, because this is going to stick to everything. Let me put a little on here, and I don't want it to stick too much. Okay, so we just bring this out, and one of these little bread scrapers works nice. Okay. Okay, so just kind of flip this over and get it all covered with that flour so that you can work with it a little bit. And we're just going to get some of this air out of here. We're just going to form it in a nice ball. We're not going to knead it. Just form it in a nice ball. And we're going to see if we can't tighten it a little. See that? I can roll it. How it forms a nice ball. There we go. Now, we're going to line this little bowl here. You don't want to put the same bowl. We're going to line this bowl with a little bit of this parchment paper. And we're going to carefully pick this up. And we're going to set it right in there. Okay, now, I'm going to set that right there. I'm going to cover this up again, and it's going to rest for another 30 minutes or until this oven is hot and up to, I got to set it over here because I'm going to have to clean that mess up. But we're going to leave that rest until the oven is ready and that Dutch oven is screaming hot. And when that is ready, I'll bring it back and we'll put that in there and get it baked. Okay, friends, this is ready to go in. So I'm going to set that right there. Take the lid off. This is screaming hot. Okay. Now, beautiful. It rested for 30 minutes. So I'm just going to take this whole shebang and put it right in there. Okay. Now, I do want to score the top. So I'm going to put a score right in there. And a score on this side. Okay. All right, so that's ready. You can see that. It's all ready to bake. It's scored. Okay, we're going to put the lid on this, just like so. Put this back in the oven. And it's going to bake for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to pull it out, take the lid off in it, and we'll check the, the color of it. And then after that, we'll bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes without the lid on. So when I get ready to take the lid off, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how it looks before we give it the final bake. Okay, friends. This is ready for us to check this and take the lid off. Ooh, that's beautiful. Let me bring you up here carefully and close. Look at how gorgeous that is. Beautiful. But it's not dark enough yet. So I'm going to put it back in there for about 10 more minutes. And then it'll be done. But we're not going to put the lid on this time. We're just going to leave it. Okay, friends, this is ready to come out. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. My neighbor's getting this. Look, my paper's falling apart. Oh, that's gonna work. Well, I guess, you know what we'll do? We'll just do that because the paper's all falling apart. And we'll just go like this. We'll just flip it. It's beautiful. It's hot, so I have to put it over like so. There you go, friends. Isn't that beautiful? And I'll show you the bottom. Gorgeous. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom, Abby.
Oh my God.
It's crusty bread.
Yeah.
It's soft on the inside and nice and chewy on the out. Or soft on the inside and crusty on the outside. I'll get it straight. But anyway, friends, that's how easy it is to make a loaf of that beautiful artisan bread. And people think you slaved all day over it. I hope you give that recipe a try. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.